Auto
Sí,
part
señor.
manufacturing collapse.
Uh-oh.
What?
Parts.
Talking about, what are we
Fellow
talking about?
motorheads. All right, guys. So, boys, we're in trouble. We're in deep trouble. We already knew the automotive industry was getting hit left and right, and
Yep.
for us guys who run repair shops and do things, it's going to get real hard. Let me explain to you what's going on. I had somebody call me today for a 2018 Ford, I think it was. I didn't write all the information down. Needed a power steering pump.
It's definitely
I
Ford.
said, okay, we'll see what we can do. So called all the three that we have around here, the big parts companies. Don't have them. One said they could special order it. A really cheap pump. Okay, they could special order it. So went down the rabbit hole, went to looking. Okay, in 2023, a private equity group bought out some of the major parts remanufacturers like Cardone, Trico, stuff like that. In January of 2026, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They're already starting to break up all the assets. Cardone started in Philly, large, great big manufacturing outfit in Philly, and they had a lot of employees, and they were offering pump rebuild services, power steering box rebuild services. I mean, they did a lot of stuff. Half of this stuff that we brought out of that warehouse is Cardone stuff. And come to find out, you're not going to get it anymore. Okay, Cardone, the factory has already been broken up. The employees have been laid off. This is a crazy rabbit hole. We all love these older vehicles, but I got news for you. Now I see why everybody was on that 78 Ford. You got minimal stuff there to repair. You don't have to worry about Cardone that often.
Yeah, we'll separate there, guys. But
Yeah.
Hey, if you're still watching, make sure to give us a like, share, and subscribe.
So, is imminent, is gonna happen.
I've got two takes on it. One, yeah, I mean, with vehicles, how they're making them now, right? They are lasting a little bit longer, so you aren't getting as many repairs. And when you do, you probably have to take it to your specific dealership. But the other thing I keep thinking in the back of my head is the way we make EV vehicles now. They're about 60% less moving parts on it than a standard ICE engine vehicle, right? So you're going to have less parts anyway. So less chance for repair and things like that. So I think you're also kind of looking at a double-edged sword here of vehicles are probably lasting a little bit longer, plus EV vehicles aren't going to have as many moving parts anyways, so that means less breakdown.
So my whole thing is it's gonna happen for that reason. Is what Keegan said is that there's a less private equity companies. They are buying off not just these parts. They're buying off big automation companies. They're buying off a whole bunch of things, and for them, they even bought out a packaging company out of Florida. A buddy of mine just left that company.
Yeah.
Anyways, what for them is numbers. They don't care you're a Ford fan, Chevy fan, you like to work on cars. For them, it's numbers.
Yep.
If the numbers don't make sense,
It's not profitable.
It's not profitable. Shut it. But there's a silver lining that I'm thinking of. The reason what we need to do is we need to learn how to use 3D printers and 3D scanners. That is a one thing that you can do it at home. That's one thing I'll say. I'll recommend kids. I will recommend adults. If you're old hobbyist, learn those two things. 3D scanning.
I've seen it done with somebody who's doing car repair and building an old truck.
3D scanning and 3D printing. You get to that because this is gonna happen. We don't have enough. I would say is in us power to stop this happening.
Well, like he was saying, I think you bring up a good point. It was something I was going to bring up. So he's talking about a lot of these car part manufacturers got bought up at 2023. Now they're filing Chapter 11 in 2026. So all of them are kind of going away. So now what you're alluding to is that it's opportunity for somebody else to
Yeah,
jump in.
the winners and losers in every
Yeah.
freaking game.
Yeah.
Well, and also too with a lot of these big companies, right? They're going to say, "Well, I'm not going to make 5,000 of these pumps like this guy was saying because I'm only going to sell 5,000 of them. My minimum quantity that I have to make now is 20, 50, 100,000.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't see it as beneficial, right? So you
Yeah.
see a lot of companies now that are doing that, but then they're also leaving a lot of opportunity on the table because it's like, okay, well, I could make 5,000 of them in 3 or 4 different variations. Maybe the price goes up a little bit, but we don't want to touch it because now it doesn't hit my minimum quantity
individual
order.
set up a 3D printing shop. You can do metal 3D printing. There's I know a really good company here, or individuals who have a company in Detroit. They do laser 3D printing, you can call it. And basically they take a powder like the regular
Yep.
metal powder.
Yep, resin
and,
powder, yeah.
And one of the biggest tractor company, they actually refabbing their blocks and their gearboxes with that same technology. So there's an opportunity, and this opportunity will, all these people who are getting let go, I think this is where the opportunity is if somebody wants to use it.
Well, I'm going to throw a little counter in here, guys. So with the administration, with our administration right now, taking off some of the emission standards, and this is allowing kind of car engines to come more into play now. And I think some of these automotive companies are going into gas-powered engines again.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think it was more of a mistake for these guys to shut down, or not really?
No, there's
Or is it more hybrid? Is
I think
kind of the key?
I think again, going back to Keegan's point, the new engines, they're gonna run cooler. They're gonna run
longer.
They're gonna run longer.
You really
and-
think so?
Yes.
Why is that? Because all I see is turbo engines right now. Everybody has a turbo engine.
Yes, but what they're doing is there's a lot of this energy efficient through like the battery technology and whatnot. That's because they are becoming all, the hybrid. The only thing when 15 years ago, when you said hybrid, only thing came to your mind was Prius, right? I mean that was the only hybrid. Now there are these big trucks. Everything
Ford's
is
moving into that area. as
yeah,
well.
the hybrid is moving in all that. So what a hybrid does is, and we all know, if the engine runs cooler, if the engine runs efficient, there's a less carbon buildup, there's less things to break, less water pump to, because it's not running hot, and there's less likely those seals to dry up. So
Yeah.
they're gonna run longer, and because of that, okay, I don't agree with them shutting it down, but on the number side, I see the
Yeah.
point why they're shutting it down.
Well, and the joke used to be too, right? With Rams, you never get more than 100,000 miles out of it until you gotta, change a drive shaft or something goes wrong on it, right?
I got
And
a Tahoe right now with 300,000 miles.
Yeah. Yep. So I think it's
that's,
kind of a
that's almost
double-edged sword,
unheard
right?
of in Chevy Tahoe with 300,000 miles.
You just have this double-edged sword where you have
Yeah.
cars I think are lasting longer. These VCs
The
now are
engines are
wanting
smaller.
more out of companies.
Yeah,
and they want to be
engines
more
are smaller.
profitable.
I just know that these turbos, unfortunately, cost more to fix once they go.
Sure.
Yes.
And yeah,
But what percentage are those turbos, right?
right now there's a lot because
Really?
yeah,
Yeah, there's more.
I
like,
mean,
Ford's moved almost all.
yeah,
of that from
almost
there.
all the vehicles
Yeah.
right now have a turbo being installed in the engine. The only one, I think the reason I'm saying that because we're kind of looking at new SUVs, and I'm like, every one of them has a turbo, like a 4-cylinder turbo, and the only one that doesn't, I think it was the Blazer. It's the only one that didn't have
We got a
it.
V8 in our
The
SUV.
V6. It was a V6. Even they don't make
There's
V8s
a
anymore.
V8 coming out. I'm not sure
Yeah.
who's
Jeep. Our Jeep is a V8.
is it.
No,
V8?
the new ones.
It's new.
Okay. You must have a special order. Usually those are
Well, I mean, it's big. So
okay.
It's like a bus.
Is a wagon? Is it
Wagoneer.
Wagoner? Right.
Yeah. That
Okay.
one. So
Yeah,
Wagoners are.
I've been
V8,
looking
they're
for
big.
V8.
I mean, you still get Dodge Durangos or V8s. You can get V8s in those. There's still a handful you can still.
Yeah,
in the
it's
Chevy,
it's
I couldn't
harder to
see
find.
see a
Yeah,
V8.
I mean, it used to be the same with Ford, right? All their trucks used to be V8s. Now they're V6
V6.
with turbos.
V6. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That you can find a
Yeah.
V6.
So even the Raptors, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. A
Okay.
$100,000 truck, Raptor. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Well, again, do you guys like this topic? Like, subscribe, and if you look for 3D technology, I guess get a hold of us.
Yeah.